Hello aqua friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole and today we have this beautiful garden scene that we're going to paint. It's actually going to paint itself. This is so easy, guys, to get this effect. We're going to do a lot of wet on wet and actually tilting our paper and just letting these colors bleed together creates this gorgeous scene. So let's get started. First off, we're going to wet our paper really well. There's actually a butterfly in the scene, reference photo here from Pixabay. And I was being lazy. I didn't block that butterfly out. I thought, oh, I'll throw some orange on him and kind of help sort of preserve that area, some yellow orange, and do a second layer on him. But as the colors bled together, they kind of do their own thing. And sometimes, you know, magical things happen and that you can't control, and you just have to roll with it. So in the end, I decided no butterfly was okay with me because it turned out so pretty. So some of the colors that I'm using here, warm yellows, I have Aussie Red Gold, transparent Pyrrole Orange, quinacridone Red, bright Violet, permanent Rose, marine blue, and some indigo blue. Those are the only colors I used for this project. Now I am getting quite a puddle, as you see there, so we're going to sponge up some of that paint there with a thirsty brush. There are some really bright pink areas in the foreground that I am putting in there. Coming in with that beautiful marine blue, and we're going to let it mix around with the purples. Whatever warm blues in your palette will work, so it doesn't have to be marine blue. Now here's where the magic happens. So you lightly spritz your paper and start tilting your board. And it's going to do the most beautiful gradations all on its own with no brush strokes. And it really just gives it an almost airbrushing effect that's just so pretty. All right, coming in with our paintbrush now and putting in that foreground foliage. So I'm adding some more blues, using some indigo for some darker blues there. And notice I'm just dabbing my paintbrush. This isn't even really painting, folks. This is just really painting from the heart, more or less. You're just dabbing, you're trying to create this atmosphere. Even the reference photo screams all about atmosphere and just magicalness, which I'm just so attracted to. So getting those really bright pinks back in the foreground, dropped in some really nice thick mixtures of permanent rose and letting that bleed into the paper. You're going to let that whole thing dry. Now that it's dry, I am preserving some of this first layer by just adding dots of masking fluid. Where these dots are is where I'm going to be pulling up some highlights of the bokeh lights with a stencil. So I'm going to let those masking fluid little dots dry. Once they're dry, we can work on the foreground layer and just adding a little bit of contrast. Now, if we were to squint at this right now, you'll notice that everything is pretty close to the same value. So really, to make our painting pop, we need to have differences of value. So we need to bring in some darker contrasts here. So really going for that indigo here and grabbing those darker colors. I'm painting almost in a circular fashion so I can let some of those colors from the first layer shine through. All right, a little spritz. I'm not spraying the heck out of it this time. I don't want those brush strokes to move too much, but I did want to soften them. All right, a few more little dark areas to really get that contrast going. And while it's still damp, I'm using a damp round sponge dauber. And this is actually only pulling up the paint marginally. Notice it's really not making that much of a difference. And I kind of like that. I kind of like those subtle transitions. And then to get more forceful color changes, we do need to wait for the whole thing to dry. So here I am using a stencil, and I'm using a magic eraser sheet and really pulling up a lot of paint here to bring back a lot of the paper white, some of these really bright highlights right in the middle there where the sun is shining. And the more you scrub, the more paint you'll lift. The less you scrub, the less it'll lift. So using various sizes of dots, notice I'm using really teeny tiny ones too. All right, so once you're happy with the amount of lights that you pulled up, I'm going to be using a stiff brush, and to really bring home the fact that this is a garden, I do want your imagination to take over, so I'm only giving you hints of petals, just here and there. So not a lot of detail, but I want your mind to make up the fact that, oh, I'm looking at a garden scene. And why do we know that? Because you do see these little hints of petals. So it just really opens up your own imagination about what kind of garden this is. The last step is to do the in focus plant, and even that is just a very simple structure. It's not complicated. I'm trying to do the most minimalistic thing I can. Starting off and mixing my yellow oranges with the purples to use the same colors that we used in the first layer. As I get closer to that light source, you do want to change your colors and use more of that orangey color because it is like a backlit plant. Right, very simple. I'm leaving spaces where the circles are. Okay, so once your paper dries, you can go ahead and remove the masking dots. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it does let those little details shine through a little bit. All right, you guys can go ahead and remove your masking fluid. You just created a masterpiece. Congratulations. If you guys love this start to my spring series, stay tuned next week. I do have another spring painting for us to do together. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.